Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Michael Anthony, nothing fancy, just my name. As you can see, no fancy graphics or anything behind me. It's just me in my front room at the very start of this journey. As the thumbnail says, this is day one. This isn't a case of somebody who's made it big, made their millions or whatever, and now is going back and going through how they did it. This is a journey. This is not even day one, kind of day zero. There are a few things I've put in previous to today, and I have been meaning to do this video for a while, but life gets in the way. I'm not some 15, 16-year-old kid who doesn't have work and responsibilities in a house and stuff like that. I am 32 years old, I've got children, I've got a partner, a house, bills. So this is the journey of somebody doing it kind of the real way. As a lot of people who are looking on the internet for a way to do things, they'll be in the same position as me, rather than some young kid who's got a load of free time, who's got a lot of maybe technical expertise, or somebody who might have kind of family money behind them to help out. I don't have much money. I have plenty of responsibilities. So, I think there'll be a lot of people out there that will relate. I don't want to go into anything too much. Obviously, I'm going to do a load of different videos which will talk on specific topics. This is just a quick introduction. If any of you do recognise me, hopefully from YouTube and not actually real life, but if you do, this is what I'm trying to do, so hopefully you can respect it. Those of you that maybe do recognise me from YouTube, I do have another channel just talking about what I'll call my first love, Man United, football team, soccer, if there's anyone American watching. But even that's quite new. I've only got 11 videos, the 11th of which I uploaded today. Just to talk about that for a second, I got up to kind of 30 subscribers and somewhere close to 400 views. So, nothing spectacular, but a lot of that was I'm active on Reddit. So, talking on Reddit and sharing my videos and asking people if they'll watch and give me feedback. So those subscribers went up to like 32, 33, and then because they didn't watch much, they didn't really interact. I think the YouTube algorithm kind of removes their subscribers, so now I'm down to around about 23, 24. It is something I'm kind of doing for a hobby. I do have a lot of opinions on football. I do get carried away talking about them. So I just wanted to do it kind of as a hobby, but also to get a little bit more clued up on YouTube, on making videos, making thumbnails, my equipment. I've got kind of a hodgepodge of equipment from hobbies over the years, which was no good, so I had to get a new microphone, a light. Eventually I'll get into the whole, I don't know, green screen behind me or graphics during videos and stuff like that. But at the minute it's very basic, it's very just starting out, which I imagine a lot of you who do watch the journey, or maybe you're watching a year down the line and I'm doing okay and you're going back to my first video. I think a lot of you will appreciate the journey and me figuring this stuff out and being able to help you while I'm helping myself. So moving on from the Man United video, as I said, I'm Mike, I'm 32 years old, and my confession is I've always hated work. I've had all kinds of jobs, and I mean all kinds, which I'll go into in another video. As I said, I'll do specific ones at a later date, especially if people do want them. Some of the jobs I've had have been kind of landscape gardener, hazardous waste admin assistant. I used to drive bands around. I used to drive rock bands around in like a customized ex-police riot vehicle that had bunk beds and PlayStations in the back. I used to drive bands around doing that. Electrician is what I've been doing mostly. I did that when I left school, electrical, until that kind of fell through. So I did that for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then I basically did what I wanted to do for a little bit. I went to college, university, lived abroad. I've taught English in Spain. I did some volunteer teaching back here in England. I've done 3 different sales jobs where I've done well, earned a lot of money, and a few different jobs, some of which I just mentioned, before going back on the tools and back as an electrician. And I've worked away as an electrician. I've worked all around the country doing sales and different jobs, but I've worked away as an electrician down south, London, up north, Newcastle, Manchester. I actually went to uni in Chester, so I lived there for 4 years. I'm in the Midlands currently. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. So I have worked all over as an electrician before deciding I didn't want to work away anymore, so I just did local work as an electrician. I've helped out with other trades as a labourer and rendering, plastering, all those kind of things. And right now, a lot of people would say I have a good job. I've mostly done commercial and industrial electrical work, which are 10, 12 hour days, sometimes driving as much as 2 hours there, 2 hours back home. So very long days, but good money. The job I'm doing lately is domestic, doing solar panels, and it is a case of, generally I'm given 2 jobs, 2 installs of the electrical side of solar panels, and once I've done those 2 jobs I can go home. And on some days we can get a job done in less than an hour. So on a really, really good day, which is very unlikely to happen, I could have 2 very good jobs not far from home. I could have a 40-minute drive, do 2 jobs in less than 2 hours, and then a 40-minute drive home. That's happened a couple of times, but it's not very often. Most likely is I'm kind of up at 6 o'clock, I'm out the door before 7, and then I might be back home by 2, 3 o'clock, sometimes a bit later, sometimes a bit earlier, but 2, 3 o'clock. And I don't stop and have lunch. We just go to get the jobs done as quick as we can, get back home, and I'm paid a flat day rate for that. I'm not going to go into how much I am paid, but it's a good amount. And if I do a full month, lately there's been weeks where I've only done 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Excuse me. But if I do a full month, I should say, I'm trying to speak more eloquently. If I do a full month, I will get more than double what my partner gets, and she's an accountant. So it is good money. It is good hours generally. I don't really like the work, I'm not going to lie. It's not really for me. I'm not as good with my hands maybe as a lot of other people who are in construction. I'm good. I'm a good electrician. I'm very safe. I take that as the priority. A lot of other people will be quicker and will be better in general, just with their hands, with DIY, with construction. But it is not for me. I don't enjoy the work. I enjoy the benefits of the work. I don't enjoy the actual work. And while I've had some good jobs in the past, some with great benefits that I enjoy, I've never fully enjoyed the work. Do you know what I mean? Some people go to work and they find joy in what they do. I don't. I've never wanted to work for somebody else. I want to work for myself. From a young age, I've wanted to be an entrepreneur. I've wanted to decide when I work, how I work, work to my schedule. My biggest struggle was with office jobs. You start at a set time, you're there or else. You have lunch at a set time. You leave at this time, you're back at your computer for this time. If you're lucky enough to have a break, you have a break for 10-15 minutes, and you're back at this time. And a lot of people would eat at their desk. A lot of people were just drones, and I hated it. One job I was kind of told, as long as I do these jobs to this standard, I'm fine. So I found a way to kind of automate and do those jobs as quick as I could. Um, so I'd get those jobs done in a couple of hours, and then the rest of the day I'd spend kind of plodding along doing work, but also kind of on the internet and trying to make time go a little bit quicker. And I thought that was fine because I was doing what they said needed to be done. I'd met the bar and kind of gone above it, and just I thought that was fine, but apparently it wasn't. And I got in a lot of trouble for that. You know, there was a big kind of disciplinary meeting, um, and they were saying that basically, if you can do more, do more. And my argument was, well, you told me to do this. I'm doing more than that. But they're like, yeah, but the time you're spending on the internet making time pass, you could be doing more work. You could get to this point, and I didn't want to. You know, I wanted work to go as fast as it could so I could get home and do what I wanted to do. I'm at work to earn money. You know, I'm not at work to benefit your company and help the owner earn as much as possible. Do you know what I mean? I'm an employee and I'm there to help and I'm doing that, but I'm not there to break my back for somebody else. If I was breaking my back for me, if it was my company, then yeah, you know what I mean, I wouldn't stop. But it's not. I'm just a cog, and as soon as I left, there was someone else to replace me. Similarly, when I've had a sales job, I was actually selling solar panels years ago when, you know, they weren't new, but, you know, there was a bit of a bubble around them. Um, and I had a really good week. The 1 month, I started the month with a really good week and got kind of 4 sales in, I think 3 sales in 1 week and then 2 sales the next week. And the commission on those were really good. I'm talking thousands of pounds commission per sale. Um, and I was told in a team meeting that basically if I got, I think it was 2 more sales in the rest of the month, we had nearly 3 weeks left of the month. And if I got 2 more sales, I would get the company record and I would do this and I would do that. But I was like, look, I've just earned a very good amount of money. I'm self-employed. I'm having the rest of the month off. Like, you won't see me. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I've made this money. I'm going to pay my rent for the next couple of months. I'm going to buy a couple of things I wanted to buy. And I'm going to chill, you know. And I would maybe have a couple of days a week where I'd go following leads or, you know, I'd try and create new leads. But generally, I was off for the whole month. And they didn't really understand that. You know, I didn't get in trouble for that. And I don't want to say they understood, but you know, they kind of accepted it. You know, because I was making sales, I was helping them, but they weren't happy about it. So that's the way I kind of work, and a lot of people think it's wrong. Think I have a bad work ethic. Think that I'm lazy. Um, but I'm not. It's kind of that work smart, not work hard thing. Friends of mine that break their back for their companies, they have no real benefit. A friend of mine would work away every time he was asked. He would cover emergency shifts. He would be on call, and it got to a point that he was actually working away on call on his own, staying in a hotel away from his family, and he found out that he was actually missing a Christmas meal early in December that pretty much everyone at work was invited to, but because he had to be on call, he was on the other side of the country on his own, while everyone else was having their meal, having their drinks. Do you know what I mean? And some of the people there were people that were asked to work away, to be on call, that said, no, I'm not prepared to do it. But he did it, and he actually missed out on quite a lot. So it's not for me. I will work hard, I will do what I'm asked, but I think the line of what I'm prepared to do is probably lower than what other people are prepared to do, which, you know, to some people is a bad character trait. To me, I quite like it. My partner hates it. You'll hear that a lot on my videos. My partner really struggles with the way I am in regards to work and what I want to do. But it's difficult. There's a lot of compromise, but essentially I've told her this is something I've got to do, something I should have done a long time ago. Um, but moving on, what my plans are, as I said, I have the YouTube channel, I'm doing this channel. I also want to do a kind of meme, funny shorts kind of channel, and have that on all social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And my plan for that basically is to create a bit of a following. If I can get to 100,000 followers or subscribers, which then later down the line, if I'm doing other business ventures, I could share it on those pages, and that might be a bit of a funnel. It might sound unethical, but the main page will always be about funny things. I hate to say it about myself, but I have always been kind of that class clown, funny person, and I still kind of feel that way when I do go out with friends. It's very rare I do go out because in the back of my mind I'm always thinking I could be being productive, I could be doing this, I could be working on my dream, I could be working on what I want to do. So I don't have much time for going out. I don't play video games like I used to. Every time I'm doing something fun or enjoyable, I'm thinking I could be using this time to do this, which is a hard balance, which is like days out with the kids and stuff. I enjoy it, I love it, but in the back of my mind I'm always thinking of things that I could be doing, that I should be doing. So my phone is just covered in thousands and thousands of notes of ideas that I've had. On top of the channels, I wanted to do the meme page. I write. I write a lot of fiction. I love writing. I have a blog, which I actually haven't shared with anyone. It's literally just an online diary for me to talk about what I'm doing and how I'm doing and where I want to go. But also I put my works of fiction on there, and a lot of it is 1, 2, 3 chapters of a story I'm working on, and then I'm on to the next one. So I do struggle with that a little bit, but I do love to write, and that's something else that I want to do. I want to work a bit more on my fiction. I also want to start a YouTube channel and socials around writing, around creative writing, fiction, and again, that's more of a kind of hobby, but could grow into a business with a readership. If it does well. I'm at a stage right now where I'm kind of throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And with my interest being writing, comedy, those are 2 things I'm going to go into. The football channel, it is a hobby. Hopefully it could grow. There are some very big fan football channels on YouTube. I maybe don't think I'll get to that point, but who knows. But my main source of income that I want to replace my electrical work and working for someone else in general is freelance work. I've signed up to Fiverr. I'm going to sign up to the other sites, but Fiverr is the main one. I've signed up to Skillshare to take some courses in what I want to do on Fiverr, which is something to do with writing. Whether I can do creative writing, it doesn't look likely. It's more people that want web content or copywriting or business writing. I do have a way with words. I believe I'm a good writer, a good vocabulary. My degree is actually in English literature and also psychology. I love the whole persuasion, motivating people to do things, why people purchase what they purchase. So for me, copywriting, advertising, blog posts makes sense. It converges a few of my interests and things that I am good at. I did want to share a couple of resources that I'm currently using. Copythatshow.com. They have a free copywriting course that I'm currently working my way through. They also have a Discord, which is very active. A lot of people offering help. So anyone that's thinking of doing copywriting or writing in general as a business, I would recommend using those. They offer the same stuff on their course that a lot of people will try and charge hundreds of pounds for, or dollars I should say. I believe they're American. Freelance Fairy Tales podcast by Alex Fasulo. I've been listening to a lot. I do a lot of driving with work, so I listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And also the How I Diaries podcast. She's someone I've actually started talking to on Reddit. As I said, I'm very active on Reddit. And she directed me to her social media pages and her podcast, and it was her that recommended the Freelance Fairy Tales by Alex Fasulo. Her name's Catherine, and that again is the How I Diaries, which is just great. She's kind of doing the same thing as me, talking about her journey, but she's already freelancing full time. So she's obviously ahead of me in her journey before she started doing these podcasts, but there's a lot of great content there. She's funny, she's informative. I can't recommend her channel enough. I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to get across. Those are the resources I'm using. What I plan to do, as I said, is to finish these courses on Skillshare and copythatshow.com. To actually set up my Fiverr account fully and start offering gigs. I'm going to offer very cheap prices or even free just to get some exposure, kind of, as they say. And once I've got a few reviews that I can use, a bit of feedback, then I'm going to start trying to charge a bit more and do this as my job. Unfortunately, I have to do it around work. I can't just quit my job and do it full time and put everything into this. I've got to get my time-life balance correct. But as I say, you'll be along for the journey of that. And not all of my videos will be positive. I'm sure a lot of videos will be, I'm getting no orders, I'm having problems, I'm having doubts, can I do this? Imposter syndrome. I'm struggling with going to work every day and then coming home, especially after a bad day, and trying to make content or trying to get work on Fiverr. So hopefully you are here for the highs and lows. Hopefully you subscribe and you're here for the whole journey. As I say, I'm not really sure if I'm going to try and advertise this and get subscribers the way I did with my football channel, or if I'm just going to create these and leave it and it's just going to be a version of my online diary. My aim is to try and update regularly, and if anybody is watching this and I'm not updating regularly, please give me a push, give me a shove, give me a poke, give me negative comments and let me know. Sometimes I do need that kick up the backside, but I'm glad to have done this first video. I'm glad that I'm starting this journey. I'm going to use this to try and be accountable to myself. Again, thank you for those of you who are watching. Hopefully, if people are watching and it's a year down the line and I'm on my way and I'm doing well, you're seeing this video and you're seeing where I started. You know, nothing fancy. It's just me in my room talking about what I'm going to do. Thanks again, and hopefully you're along for the ride. Goodbye.